Welcome to another episode of Art's Place, conservative talk from a different view. We got a great show today. Lloyd and we're going to talk about coronavirus, or as commonly called COVID-19, Wuhan flu, or the Kung flu. So we're going to talk about how it's affecting the economy here in the United States and around the world. So let's take it away, Lloyd. Welcome to the show. Let me unmute you. That might work. There we go.
There we go. Yeah. Hello, Art. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I wish I was in Florida, but this COVID-19 kind of threw a monkey wrench into the whole thing, and so I ended up canceling my trip. So I'm hoping to reschedule it for May.
Yeah, I just got a notice from some friends. Actually, one gal that I knew from high school is on my friends list, and she wrote back. She says, "You know, you're on the missing list for the high school reunion this summer." I said, "I haven't been the same place for 38, 39 years now."
Wow.
And she says, "Send them your information." So the thing is like Kelly Shores from Ready Set Drone was talking about having the spin up in Colorado.
Right.
And my high school union this year, of course, is in Colorado.
Yeah.
Now, if I could just get them to both plan it at the same time, I could make one trip out there, fly out there, cover it all, and then come home. And by the time my next reunion comes around, most of the people I see at high school will be dead anyway. So,
well, I think Kelly was talking about moving it up to September. Then that way, the people coming can see the fall colors here in Colorado.
Yeah. And that's a good time to have it, providing you don't get an early snow.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I've seen the snow on Labor Day many a time.
Yep. And I mean, this virus has really affected everything, especially the grocery store with everybody hoarding toilet paper. I mean, really, are you that worried that we're going to run out of toilet paper? You know?
Yeah.
Are you going to be on lockdown or quarantine? Like, I remember my dad telling me about when he was a kid in the 20s and early 30s, how they would quarantine a block because somebody got either the mumps,
the measles,
chickenpox, scarlet fever.
Yeah.
So they would quarantine the block.
Yeah. Well, my grandmother on my dad's side died from one of those flus or whatever, one of those epidemics that went around back in the 30s.
Yep.
And her sister, I remember my dad saying he remembers that it was like on a daily basis, the church bell would ring. Every time the church bell, it was calling everybody that you need to come dig a grave. Somebody else has died, you know.
Oh, boy.
You know, and he says it rang sometimes twice a day.
Oh.
So, but I haven't, this would be the first time I can think of in our lifetime that we've had a quarantine like this.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm like you, I remember my folks talking about it all the time.
Right.
But
well, they're quarantining people on cruise ships, and Mitch was talking about yesterday on Art Code that he was worried about me being stuck in Florida because Colorado, with our illustrious governor, might say, Art, you can't come into Colorado. You've been to Florida over there by those ports where the flu is really
Oh yeah,
going rampant. So stay there, and then I'm stuck. I might have to use up a lot of my vacation time uh, for work.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Well, it's like yesterday. My son and I, was telling you before the show, we went to the Air and Space Museum, and then went to a hobby shop because he hadn't been in one before, and it was an RC hobby shop.
right. Oh, cool.
So oh yeah, we
Those are
uh,
cool.
I saw the plane I want. I'm just not ready to drop the money on it yet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's a fixed wing A-10
Oh,
with turbofan engines in it.
oh boy,
I mean,
that's going to be pretty pricey.
yeah, because it's like $150, you
Oh
know.
boy,
But
and that's just for the plane, right?
that's just for the plane and the controllers and stuff. But
Oh,
then you are not the controller, but the control systems
servos.
in, yeah, the,
Yeah. Hmm.
all the servos and stuff. But yeah, uh, I wouldn't mind getting it, but I just can't see dropping that kind of money for
Yeah.
that. There's other
Hmm.
things uh, I can buy, but
Well, I want to say hi to people in the chat. We got Steve Mack, Mike Roach. He stayed for a few minutes. He's got to leave. He's going to go see a movie. Yeah, yeah, Mike. How about that social distancing? You're really got to give him a hard time. And then
oh
there's
yeah,
Vidar Levag, and Mitch is in. So hopefully a little later we'll have a few more people rolling into the show. And also, our illustrious governor has ordered all the ski areas closed. And that's going to really put a dent in the ski industry. And that's one of the big industries here in Colorado.
well yeah, and this time of year especially because this is where all the spring breakers
Yeah.
uh, come. If they're not going out to the beach in Florida, they're going to Colorado to go skiing or in one of the ski resorts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yep.
And my son called me. He says, "You still want to go?" I said, "Yeah." So yeah, we were with a bunch of people around, but everybody kind of kept their distance. We didn't get all packed in together,
Yeah.
and we stopped for dinner afterwards. Stopped. My son had never tried Freddy's, so there
Oh.
was a Freddy's up there in Tulsa, and so we went
Uh,
to Freddy's. And the first thing we did was go in the bathroom, hand soap, wash real well,
yeah.
open the door with the
Right.
elbow, and
Well, how was Freddy's? There's one here in
I
Aurora,
love them.
Colorado.
Uh,
Yeah.
on my videos, I'm always going to Fred. That's
Ah.
Judy's favorite hamburger place, and is mine too. It's uh, now their French fries are those little shoestring ones,
Ah.
but
Okay.
they got a sauce that you can dip them in, and they're just
Ah.
it's steak burgers. It's not
Oh.
just,
Okay. Good.
yeah.
Cool.
But you want to get a double because boy, them things just really thin, but they are good,
Yeah.
seasoned perfect, and just
Have you been to a Culver's?
callers. I don't think I have.
Yeah, we've got one here in Colorado. It's just about a half mile south of where I live, and their fish and chips are pretty darn good. A little pricey, but pretty good.
Mike B says he's been practicing social distancing for years. Yeah,
Yeah. Hmm.
yeah,
I think that's what happened to me and my two ex fiancées. We're social distancing. I'm
yeah.
here; they're in their home country.
That does create a problem.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but
One in the Philippines and one in Honduras.
oh, and I got my new grumpy. Now I want I'd sold some of these. I gave away a few as gifts, but I finally got one for myself.
Oh, cool.
I really like the way it looks,
Yeah, it
and
looks sharp.
yeah, the one that Jim Wallace had made for me, and this is same brand of hat too. So it's got the formable top, you know,
Yeah.
and I really like it. But uh, yeah, Now, Art, I just woke up. I'm being
Yeah,
honest with you.
that's okay.
I've been like this.
I'll carry part of the
You
load
need to.
today.
You probably have to carry most of it.
So Trump makes a big speech, and right after his speech, I'm on Facebook and I see my left leaning friends just kind of just go off on him. And I'm like, what do you want? You know, they're bitching because he said oil prices are low. He goes, how is that going to help people? I'm like, going, good Lord, people. I mean, folks on our side, we didn't complain about this when Obama
Ebola.
was president and we had the SARS epidemic. We didn't go off on the president and say, "Oh, what a dummy," and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And it's so it
Well,
wears me down. I'm getting to a point where I see a lot of this on Facebook, and I just take my mouse and I go unfollow. There we
yeah.
go.
I'm having to
Not
do that.
unfriend.
Just
I just don't follow them, and I don't want
right.
to see that. It
Yeah.
just ugh,
Yeah. I've
know.
run into that a lot too, and it's getting old. I mean,
Yeah.
come on, guys.
Hmm.
We as conservatives, and maybe that's the problem. Maybe we were too nice during the
Yeah.
Obama era. Maybe
Hmm.
we should have. I mean, I've never held back my thoughts about Jimmy Carter,
Yeah.
but I didn't say it while I was in service. When I was in uniform, that man got my salute every day. You know,
Yep.
if I was around him, that was yes,
Yep.
sir. Of course, I was
Hmm.
never around him, so I probably
Hmm.
would have given him a one finger salute, but that's another story. Anyways, with all due respect, uh,
Well, here's the difference between us and them. You know, we have a choice. We could listen, or in our case, what read it, or
right?
we could do unfollow.
Yeah,
On that side, they want to completely get us off the air because we're offending them.
yeah. I mean, they. It just takes so much work to be a liberal.
Yeah.
Every day they hate something new.
Mm-hmm.
Every day they can't eat something different because, you know, you can't drink coffee because that particular coffee bean was was picked by Juan Valdez's great niece who's only 3 years old, and that's child enslavement. Crap like that they just
Yeah.
this stuff that they talk about can't be real half the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I see I swear some of the because I watch a genre of different types of movies. I swear some of these apocalyptic movies, that's what they're using for their playbook. Hey,
Yeah.
can you send us a copy? We want to use that for our talking points next
Mm-hmm.
week on Meet the Press
Yeah. Oh,
uh,
and speaking of
or
talking
Meet
points,
the Press.
yeah, uh, I was watching Gutfeld on YouTube this morning, and now the press is calling COVID-19. This is Trump's Katrina. This is Trump's Chernobyl. And I'm like going, really? He had nothing to do with this flu. I mean, he's doing everything he can to protect the people and to minimize the effect of the COVID-19 on the population. Yeah.
Well, I intended to bring it in and I didn't. Somewhere I've got a tin hat here, but we'll pretend this is a tin hat.
Okay.
Okay, here's my tin hat theory. Uh, the Bernie was could see he's seen the writing on the wall.
Hmm.
He's a communist.
Yeah.
Okay, just plain and simple. He's a communist. He call himself what he wants, but he's a communist. So he got in touch with his friends in China. Now, China's been having some problems with some dissidents.
Mm-hmm.
What better way to get rid of some extra dissidents and test out something new?
Mm-hmm.
They sent a chemical weapon of some sort into that town where all those people have died. And then they let some of them out and send them over here as ambassadors. And it's
Mm-hmm.
all because Bernie says, we got to thin out these Republicans. They're going to tear us up. We cannot take over unless we get something. We've got to ruin the economy. Trump's just too tough for us to beat.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I'll take my tin hat off now. But, you know,
Yeah,
sometimes
and
you think, really? I
yep,
wouldn't put it past. If it was Hillary, I'd say, oh, absolutely. Bernie, yeah, I'm not sure, but it's a thought.
yeah. I could see that. Yeah,
I mean,
and
the sad thing is that it is plausible.
yeah.
It's highly unlikely, but it's a scenario that it makes you start scratching your tin hat. Like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
really?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And uh, you know, a couple of days ago, I was thinking about an old comedian friend of mine. He's disabled too. I don't know if you remember a comic named Chris Fonseca. He has cerebral palsy.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
from
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Colorado.
yeah,
Anyway, I uh, I kind of stayed away from him on Facebook because his views were, to the left of me. He used to be conservative, and then when Obama became president, now he just acted like he was the greatest thing. So I went over to his Facebook page to kind of check him out, and I go, I'm scrolling through his posts. And I go, okay, he's not flaming. He's not. And then I get to this part about what's so great about a low unemployment if you're working three minimum wage jobs. I'm like going, really? I mean, what's the alternative? Living out on the streets and not having any income? I mean,
yeah,
these people, they gotta bitch about good stuff and how it's not really all that great.
yeah. When when uh, it was 19, I think it was in '68, they finally raised the military pay raise to
Mm-hmm.
above $100 a month.
Wow.
These were guys being sent to Vietnam, and guess what? They were working three jobs basically
Yep.
because their hours ran, and they were getting less than minimum wage,
Mm-hmm.
and they were on duty 24/7.
Yep.
You know,
That's right.
these young people, or a lot of these people that never had to serve or never did anything, you know, uh, like that. It's Yeah. Granted, they're having to work three jobs, but they're not working any more or any less hours
Right.
than what we had to do. Used to, you know, the only people that got to work 8-hour shifts 5 days a week were people who were in the union, and see what that's done to
That's
the
true.
country.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yep.
everybody else, you went to work. Uh, I I bucked hay bales. Now, let me tell you, that's some work,
Yeah.
and you start you start just first thing in the morning, for just after the sun comes up, and you work all day. We worked till 10 o'clock one night trying to finish up a load because we were getting paid by the bale,
Right.
and we had to split it amongst four people, you know, and we wanted to get as many bales in that day as we could.
Mm-hmm.
And we lost, we had an accident and kid got hurt, and we lost we lost some money over that. We
What?
lost time, so we ended up having to work until, yeah, we were working in the dark. Farmers do it all the time,
Yep.
but
Mm-hmm.
these whiners, because they're getting minimum wage.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when minimum wage hit 90 cents an hour.
Yeah. Hmm.
So,
And also, think about this: is we're in a society where you don't have to work three jobs. Maybe you learn a skill that maybe could earn you more money down the road. And that's the one thing that's lacking here in the United States is trade schools.
trade
Uh,
schools,
Trump
absolutely.
was talking about this not too long ago about, hey, we need to bring back trade classes in high school. I
Yeah.
remember when I was in high school, we had auto shop, we had metal shop, we had wood shop, and I think we even had a carpentry class there to
Yeah.
learn
We,
how to build homes. And we need to do something like that because we don't have enough workers for those jobs.
I got a three tiered table that I built. It's just like a little end table that I built. It's made out of oak, and I did it in 8th grade or 7th grade
Right?
in wood shop. We had wood shop in 7th grade there in
Right.
over
Yeah.
Clear Lake Junior High, and uh, that thing is still.
Mm.
Let me tell you, that was a long time ago. That thing is still as good as it was. I the dowels in it because it's three-tiered like that,
Right.
and I've had to reglue the dowel here and there, but it's still being used. And I made that when I was in, like I said, I think 7th grade,
Hmm.
and I was taught how to build a cabinet. So
Yep. Hmm. Yeah. Let's see. What did I make? I made a gun rack, and I made a jewelry box. And the thing that sucked about the jewelry box is I had that, and that was one of my better projects that I made. And I had it all shellacked, and it was drying in the drying room. And some a hole came in and dumped sawdust on it.
yeah, I
So
know
I
that.
had to go in and refinish it. And yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you had that kind of stuff, but they, you know, the unions became a political uh, entity,
yeah,
but originally they taught a trade. You
yeah.
went in as an apprentice,
Hmm.
and a paid apprentice, not like the apprentice program, like
Right.
you're sent off as an apprentice for uh, the wheelwrights, that made wagon wheels
Right.
for carriages or whatever. You know, basically you did all the work, and the blacksmith and wheelwright stood there and said, "No, no, that's not how you do that." And
Hmm.
but you didn't get paid to do that. You got a hit, you got a roof over your head, you got
Right.
food, but as an apprentice, and this is back in the 17, 1800s.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
do not have coronavirus. That cough is, I just haven't been awake long enough. But yeah, we need the trades, uh, and
Right.
it's because what are they teaching in college?
Hmm.
I don't care if you take a degree in chemical engineering, okay?
Right.
It's still just a glorified liberal arts degree, you know,
Yeah.
with a little extra chemistry thrown in just for the fun of it.
Right.
And
Well, and and this virus, it's affected everything worldwide. It's really affected the uh, tourism and the hospitality sector, and because people are just they're either staying home or they've been quarantined someplace.
right,
So
right.
all those hotels and cruise ships and even the airlines. So I think Trump was even talking about after this is done that he's going to ask Congress to uh, work out something to help out those industries that've been impacted by the virus, like lowering the FICA, the
Right.
Social Security,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
lowering that a little bit so people will have more take home pay, and that'll stimulate the economy and keep it going. So,
Yeah.
and
We're talking a lot of the guys, because I vlog and I drive around town. You mentioned the price of oil.
mhm,
Uh, I don't know. 4 weeks ago, it was like 207 a gallon
yeah,
for a gallon of gas.
yeah,
Then it dropped to $1.99.
mm,
A week later, it dropped to $1.89.
wow,
And out on the turnpike, it's $1.72 a gallon.
wow.
Yeah.
Well, the cheapest I've seen so far around here is $1.89.
Yeah. It's
Mhm,
running on average $1.89, but I
yeah.
saw it for $1.72. I was just like,
Well,
whoa.
I looked up the price of oil per barrel. It is at $35 a barrel,
Yeah.
and that is low.
That's
And
very low.
what's causing all this is because Russia's hurting. So, and they're part of OPEC,
Right.
and so they went to the Saudis and said, "Hey, why don't we lower production and then we get raise the price?" And the Saudis, they're not really happy with the Russians because the Russians are dealing with their enemy, the Iranians. And they
Right.
said, "Screw you, we're going to raise our production."
Yeah.
So this could collapse the economy of Russia because a big chunk of their economy comes from oil and gas.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Exactly. And you know, that's what's been keeping them going is
Yep.
they're selling to Iran. Of course, Iran's got you know,
Well, Iran's got a lot of money,
a
but
boatload of money.
they've got
Yeah.
all those sanctions on them, and
Yeah.
it's really hurting their country. And you know why Iran got hit really hard with the flu or with this virus?
No.
It's because China is their only trading partner. So that's why they've got an inordinate amount of people with the COVID-19, and that's how it got here in Colorado because people were. I don't know why anybody would want to go to Iran, but Iran's got a lot of history and a lot of you know uh, interesting things to see over there. But they go over there, come back, and these are older people in their 70s.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna look up real quick. Okay, COVID-19 cases in Colorado. Last I heard, it was 79.
Well, I'm curious, and I've been hearing conflicting reports, but how many people uh, died last year or in the last big uh, flu epidemic we had, where it was really
Yeah,
rampant? You know, from what I'm seeing and from what I'm hearing, is that at this point, no more have died from COVID-19 than did from the flu.
yeah. The regular. I just looked up. We have 101 cases of COVID-19 here in Colorado,
Okay.
and
Well, maybe I
and
should.
it's growing because a few days ago it was 49, and then a day later it was 79, and now it's 101. So
We have two in Oklahoma right now.
yeah, hmm
So and
Well,
it's
well,
stayed
you
that
know
way.
why that is? Because Oklahoma is okay,
That's right. Oklahoma
and
is
and
okay.
it's windy because it really blows.
Well, the only reason we got all the
And
rain,
Texas sucks.
well, we're stuck between Kansas and
Kansas,
Texas.
Texas.
You know,
Mhm.
Texas sucks, or Kansas sucks. Texas blows, and we're stuck in the middle. That's why we
Yeah,
get all the
mhm,
tornadoes. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Well,
It's
I want to
and
share
go
a
ahead, go
real
ahead.
screenshot. Here's something real quick here. Uh, Bring a little bit of humor here. Let's Chrome tab and let's see if. Oh, there we go. This is something that I made up. One of our local ambulance chasers. Have you been traumatized by toilet paper shortage? You may be entitled. Call Frank Azar, the strong arm. Is that showing up?
Yeah, yeah. That's hilarious. I was uh it was it was on uh Friday, Greg's show, in which
Right.
he brought in Ken Heron, and Ken Heron was decorating with his
Oh,
mic with toilet paper.
yeah, I saw
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that was great. They had Ken on his show.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, and the price of gold is at about $1,500 an ounce, and that's up a bit
Yeah.
because kind of wish I still had those wedding rings that I had made 3 years ago when it was only $800 an ounce.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Uh,
that's why I keep this ring here, because this thing is a huge ring, and it's got a
yeah,
lot of gold. And when
yeah.
I got it, the price of gold was about $300 an ounce. So
Wow.
uh, got it about almost 20 years ago,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
so yeah, it was a lot. It's a lot lower then, and uh, I don't even know what its value is now, but it's.
Right.
Yeah, I keep it just in case times get bad.
Yeah. Mhm. Well, I remember when Ronald Reagan was president, gold. No, before that was during Jimmy Carter. Gold got up to $1,000 an ounce,
Yeah,
and
that's
everybody thought, "Oh!" And well, Carlos silver is about 17.25 an ounce, and that's not all that high because under, like I said, under Jimmy Carter, it was at $50 an ounce back then, and
well,
it's never been that high ever since. It's been hovering around $20 an ounce.
yeah. In let's see, 74. Let's see, it's under Gerald Ford, wasn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Ger- uh, Gerald Ford. It was either Ford or it was Nixon. I can't remember which one. They took it off the $32 an ounce gold standard.
Yeah.
Well,
I think it was
my,
Nixon. Yeah.
Nixon. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Mhm.
Because yeah, it's been that far back. When I bought the first set of wedding rings that I ever got, the jeweler had not changed the price on the set that I found, and I was able to buy a really nice, standard uh, lady weddings ring, with the
Right.
raised center stone and all that,
Hmm.
and I got it for like $350 for
Right.
both for all three rings, which is still a lot of money,
Yeah.
but uh he pulled it out, handed it to me. I looked at the price and I said, "Yeah, I think I'll take these." And he looked at the prices. Oh man, the price. These are still on the $32 an ounce gold standard, you know. Well, and he was the kind of guy. He said, "But I'm going to sell them to you for that." So, uh,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah. he that's back when if you put a mistake on one of your pricing tickets or something,
Right.
they stood behind it.
Yep.
Now, you know, j- although Walgreens here a while back, they were selling they were selling their Bluebell ice cream. It's supposed to be $7.99, but somebody entered it into the computer at they left off a 9. So these
Oh,
yeah, these half gallons of ice cream were selling for 79 cents. And
right.
they stood behind it. They just kept selling them. And
Oh, cool.
yeah,
Hmm.
they wiped out that supply of it's probably full of coronavirus. That's why
Yeah,
everybody's sick.
very. Well, even Ozzy Osbourne is in on this coronavirus thing, so we're going to show you this, and there we go. You remember that song? That was, I think, from Paranoid. People gathered in their masses to buy paper for their asses. Oh Lord!
Yeah, I've never been a fan of him.
Yeah,
One, I can never understand what he's saying, you know? I mean, when he's talking, and I was never a heavy metal guy anyways, but I do uh there's there's a few of those guys that are remaking of some of my favorite songs
right,
into a more metal rendition, and
right.
I've actually liked that, you know. Uh,
Cool.
but
Mm,
yeah, I was never I wasn't really a fan. 50s, early 60s rock and roll, yeah, I
yeah.
liked it. I liked everything pre Beatles. Once the Beatles got here, they screwed up the music. My opinion.
Did you like the Kinks?
The Kinks.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what song. I know the name. I know who they are, but
You
I'm trying.
really got me. You really got me.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, that
Hello, hello, hey.
now that one.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
did
yeah.
a version of Louie Louie.
Louie, Louie. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I
And,
remember that. Yeah. I
and also, I gotta do this one. And let's see if I could do this one. Okay. Now, if I could. Uh, well, let me bring up. Okay. So now we got the everybody's on quarantine. So everybody's staying home. So in 9 months, the babies will be born. They'll be known as the coronial generation.
Coronial generation. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, there it is. That's what I wanted to show. Yeah, that's right, Vidar. COVID-19 doesn't give you the diarrhea. I think what it is everybody's using it like tissue.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
that's my thought. Yeah.
yeah.
Actually, the best explanation I heard of why it's this way, and it's I saw the breakdown of it the other day,
Hmm.
but they're buying the toilet paper for fear that they're going to be quarantined and then they won't be able to get out and wipe their backside. You know, they won't be able to get out and buy
Okay.
toilet paper if they're quarantined. You know, that's an essential, you know.
Yep.
But I saw a breakdown the other day on it, and I may even have it here. One of my friends sent it to me.
Okay.
Let's see if I can find it. Oh, actually, it was Mel that sent it to me.
Okay.
All
Well,
right.
you probably remember Sears catalogs.
I do. Yeah.
Well,
Uh, Costco toilet paper, 30 rolls, 325 sheets per roll, 12,250 sheets per case, 20 sheets per sit. I'm not going to say the word, but uh, 637.5 sits per case, 45.5 sits per day. So
Wow.
a person that grabs 4 cases of toilet paper from Costco and has a family of 4 quarantined for the required 14 days would need to sit 182 times a day to use the purchased amount of toilet paper at 20 sh- at 20 sheets per sit.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, and I've told this story before. Under Jimmy Carter, they actually had a paper shortage, and the commander had to come up and read an announcement about the required use of toilet paper.
Ah,
And yeah, we were allowed 2 sits a day. We were allowed 2 sheets per sit.
okay.
No, 2 sheets per wipe, 2 wipes per day, 2 sits per day,
Ah, okay.
or 2 wipes per sit, and two. Yeah, and he read this on the written orders that were sent out to every single squadron
Oh boy.
in the U.S. Air Force around the world. Now, they
Yeah.
used reams of paper just to write those
Yeah.
orders.
Dreams of
And
paper.
every time you get a stack of orders, they're like 30 pages just for a 1 page memorandum, you know, because you got to have one for this file, that file. And this was back in the 70s. But
Yeah.
yeah, they spent, of course, by the end of the week, the supply sergeant had to beg us to quit bringing toilet paper from home because we started bringing our own, and they put it in the store, in the supply room, and it got filled up, to the ceiling. One back wall was just clear to the ceiling with toilet paper, and yeah, of course, part of it was is we'd go in and stop off and say, we need some more toilet paper, and we'd put 1 roll in the bathroom and 3 rolls out in our vehicle, you know. But
Yep.
yeah, and there was a paper shortage, and that was what they were trying. But yeah,
Right.
they killed more trees, and this is when plastic bags came about.
Ah,
Save the trees. Use
yep.
plastic, and we have a paper shortage. Well,
Mhm.
that saving the trees crap backfired big time
Yep.
because those bags are still, killing off people and killing off animals and
Yep.
stuff. Yeah,
That's right. And you know, where I work, I think it's like 20 to 1 for men. There were 20 women for one guy in a department.
right.
And when I blow my nose, I have a roll of tissue, and and these are 2 ply, so I take 2 sheets to blow my nose. I see some of these ladies, they're going, and then they blow their nose once and throw it away. And I'm like, going, good grief,
Yeah.
look at all that paper you're wasting. But I
Well,
always give them a lot of crap for it.
yeah.
And
It's
kind of a
they're
running joke around.
Yeah, well, they're not really wasting it because you got to think they're women, all right? So their noses have been places that they don't need to be, and so they have to clear all that crap out. So they need a whole lot to catch all the crap that's in their nose from sticking their nose where it don't belong.
Hmm.
Oh, we're gonna catch. Are you
Yeah, yeah.
monetized on this channel? The grumpy vlogger said it.
Yeah. It, the views are from the grumpy vlogger and not of the people here at Art's place.
Yeah,
So,
as my shirt says, I did not mean to offend you. That was just a bonus.
Hmm. There you go.
Yeah,
But on the upside, with the oil being as low as it is, it's kind of like you got more money in your pocket. It's less money going to those oil companies, and you can take that extra money to buy something else you really want, or like, hey, how about buy food with or clothes?
yeah, yeah,
So it's kind of like you got a raise. You know, that's the way I look at it.
yeah. It yeah, and it's nice to see the yeah, I see Grant is on. Hey Grant, how you doing?
Oh, Grant's
Uh
here. All right.
yeah. But yeah, it's it's kind of nice not having to pay that ridiculous amount of money for gas right now.
Hmm.
But like I said, I saw it. I couldn't believe it was $1.72
Wow.
out on, and that was out on the turnpike. You know, where
Mhm.
they have the pull off section where uh, usually those places are a lot higher.
Right. Hmm.
But for some reason, our turnpikes filling stations, which turnpikes are toll roads here in Oklahoma,
Right. Hmm.
so uh, they they usually are just you know 5 cents, 10 cents higher per gallon, but they were actually cheaper.
Hmm.
So
Yep. Yeah. So this is helping out, but I kind of feel sorry for those ski area operators up there. It's like, well, there goes 2 weeks of no or very little income coming into them. That's going to hurt them. And since we've got a Democrat dominated assembly, legislative assembly and governorship, they're probably not going to, if they do give them some relief, it'll be like really teeny tiny.
yeah,
Then, then that way, when next November comes around, well, we gave them a break. We gave them some
yeah, yeah,
help, and it's like, yeah, you gave them a little teeny tiny break, and how's that going to help them?
yeah. It's this, and I honestly, I hate to be cynical, but I am.
Mm.
Uh, I honestly think the reason this is being, whether it's as bad as it is or not, I don't know. I'm hearing what uh, foreign secretaries from other countries are saying about how bad it's going to get. I hear
Right?
what our people are saying, but I think the whole thing, the reason the press is blowing it out of proportion is they want the economy to tank. If
Yep.
they can get a tank, well, then,
They could hammer Trump over it. Say, see, it's
right.
his
Yeah.
fault because he didn't uh,
He didn't spend
do
enough
it
money
fast
to bail. Yeah. He didn't react.
or
Well,
he
that was
didn't
it.
do it right.
That was the other thing. When he announced what he's going to do, even, uh, I think it was the five, they were sitting there and talking, saying, well, no, it wasn't either. It was on one of the YouTube channels on Blaze TV,
Right?
and they were discussing, and they're saying, "Well, he jumped into that first $58 billion. He shouldn't have just offered that up right away. He should have waited just a little longer on that." His own people are saying, or the conservatives are saying, "Oh no, he shouldn't have done that right away," and the others are saying, "Well, he didn't do enough," and it's all there. And this is the problem with the conservative movement.
Yeah.
We can't seem to stick together,
Mhm. Yep.
and uh, I see that. I see that in a lot of things. I've been
Mhm.
seeing it in a
Well,
lot of community groups lately too. That
mhm.
we have a problem we need to deal with, but we rather sit around and complain about what somebody else does, than say, "Hey, okay, so that person isn't perfect. Let's move on, but let's focus on the goal ahead." You know,
Yep.
and This is what they're doing. And this is what I saw. What's his name? His name is Prather. He's a
Oh, Chad Prather.
Chad Prather. Yeah, he
Yeah,
was.
he's fun.
Yeah, he's funny, and he started out as a YouTuber. Now he's
Oh
got
yeah.
his own show on Blaze TV.
Hmm.
So hey, there's hope for us, Art.
Yep. Well, I saw Chad 3 years ago when he was touring with a good friend of mine, fellow comedian Steve McGrew, and they were at the Comedy Works in downtown Denver. And I went with the Enstrom family, Rick and his wife Linda, and I think his son Eric came. And boy, both of them were hysterical.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah,
it's I think it was one of the best shows I've seen at the Comedy Works in a long time. But I don't go there very often because, well, it's in downtown Denver. Parking is really screwed up down there because the Democrats have turned a lot of the parking into, oh, hey, we gotta have bicycle lanes, and screwed that all up. They're just not
yeah,
enough parking, and a lot of the places that used to be lots, there are high rises there now because that property got so valuable that they, uh,
yeah, yeah,
and then you got these panhandlers that are hassling you, and you got to
yeah,
watch where you step because you stepping on either hypodermic needles or somebody's poop.
yeah. What was that? Uh, I can't remember. It's on the tip of my tongue. There was an area down there where in downtown. Uh, it's
Lodo,
huh
Lodo, 5 points.
five. I think it's 5 points. Yeah, it's five
Yeah,
points. What I
that's
was
a
thinking of.
little to the north of
Yeah,
downtown.
yeah. And
Yeah.
there's one street, one of those streets that came into 5 points. I can't remember which one it was now.
No, okay. There's. Are you talking? Okay. There's several. There's Larimer, Lawrence, Wiwata, Wazi, Delaney.
Yeah, maybe it's Larimer. I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
The used to there was a in the
Oh,
downtown area.
Blake
There's one.
Market.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There was one street down there. That's where all the hobos. That's where all the
Oh yeah,
drunks and
that was Larimer. That was
Larimer.
called
That's what I thought. It's Larimer. Yeah. Yeah.
It
It's
was
Larimer.
Skid Row for
Skid
a
Row.
long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Until they had the urban redevelopment and that area. Well, there's Larimer Square, which is in Lodo, they call that, and that's
Right.
down where the old city hall used to be, down there
Okay. Yeah.
on Cherry Creek,
Yeah.
and so yeah, there's a lot of
Yeah. Didn't they
nice
used to?
bars and restaurants there.
Right. Didn't they used to have the Christmas lights go up there at uh, the old city hall down there on
Yeah, they
Larimer
still
Square?
do. It's
Yeah.
called
Do they still?
yeah, Parade of Lights. Yeah.
Parade of lights. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Can't call it Christmas lights anymore. So
Yeah.
whatever. And
So Vidar says gasoline is 5.67 per gallon, cheapest it's been in 2 years. So that's probably in their. Uh, uh, I
yeah,
don't think they're on the euro. They're probably on the kroner. I think it is what it is. What they're yeah. Because I know Sweden, Norway, and Denmark, their currency is very similar. It's based on the kroner. There's the Swedish kroner, the Norwegian, and Dutch kroner.
yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
thank you, Mike. Yep, yep, Artco. Yep, and also help out my fishing channel, Art's Place Fishing Channel, and Art's Place, this channel. So if you want to help out, You got an extra computer you're not using, turn it on, go to Artco Drone Solutions, hit the live stream playlist, which I updated it yesterday. And if you hit that, let that run, you'll build up a lot of hours for me. So you
So,
could, and if you have a different email address, you could open up another tab and let it run through that. Uh, yeah, in Norwegian it's Krone. Okay, the NOK. Okay,
okay, yeah. So it's 567 in he said is five in US. Okay.
okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so it's 56. Yeah, because one krona is worth or krone or however you say it is or 10 cents American. So, yeah.
Okay. Mhm.
So that would be okay. I was doing it the hard way instead of just asking him, "Can you convert it for me?" Us Americans aren't too good at that
Mer-
mathematician stuff.
mhm. Well, the Philippine peso is 50 pesos to the dollar, roughly.
Yeah,
It fluctuates between 48 and 52.
right.
Yep. So yeah, so it's nice having this oil down, and the weather's supposed to be fairly good here in Colorado. I think I might be going do some fishing here on Tuesday, and I think it's going to get up to around 65. So it'll be my first open water fishing here in Colorado, and we'll see what's out there. I just saw a video today. A local guy, his name is Rod Parker. It's the name of his channel, and he was at Kendrick Lake in Lakewood,
Yeah,
and he was catching crappie and bass out of it. I think this was probably late last week when we had that nice warm weather, and he
yeah.
just posted it yesterday. Yep.
We were. Let's see. Yesterday, Saturday. I think it was Friday. We were almost 80 degrees yesterday. It was
Wow.
struggling to get to 50,
Hmm.
and it was raining most of the day.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Mike B says you can use separate browsers logged in the different screen names on the same computer and rack up 3 times as much watch time. That is, uh,
it says
Mitch,
he's got to run.
yeah. So we'll see you tonight, Mitch.
Yeah,
Thanks for coming in. So
we
yeah,
we managed to do an hour, Art. That's hard
yeah.
to believe.
Yep, we're at 58 right now. And
Yeah,
oh, last week you were talking about when you joined Arts Place. Well, you joined Arts Place at show number 18, and we're at what, 40, 48.
48.
So you've been
So
on about 8 months.
yeah, wow. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I was wondering how long I could, well, we talked about that last week. So, and
Hmm.
it's something I enjoy. It's because I can come here and talk about the politics with you, and we can discuss, current events the way it should
Right.
be discussed,
Hmm.
the way it should be taught in school.
Right.
You know,
Mhm.
and but yeah, so that's cool. All right.
Mhm. Well, we're up to 7 or 8 people came in. That's not too bad. Now if we could get the inch up to 10 and then the 12.
Right,
Let's
right.
get this to where it's like up to 20 plus people. And then we could really get this show going.
Yeah, I
So,
I think it's gonna get traction.
yeah, I think so.
You know, I figure about the time I finally hit 1,000 on my channel,
Hmm.
YouTube's gonna die out.
Well, Rodney just hit 1,000.
Yeah, I know, and
That's great. That's great.
yeah, yeah, I'm
Hmm.
glad he did,
Hmm.
and because he deserves it.
Yes, he does.
We were actually, it was Rick Halber, Rodney, and myself. We were all in a race to see who could get there first. And I hit 500 before Rodney did,
Right.
but I've plateaued. So
Yeah.
uh, I just can't seem to get past. I get up
Hmm.
past 7:30 and then I drop back down to about 27. So I'm
Hmm.
just happy that I've got that many people are even interested in listening to what I have to say. So uh, I just
Well, and there are other places you can go to other than Pusa Studios. You can go to Tree Trimmer 82, Ralph's Trucking, and even Mine's Vlog is another place. I picked up a few people from there.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I look at different things, and there's several that I go to that,
Yeah,
uh,
just say hello
yeah, yeah,
and all that, and that's how I network. I go
yeah,
to up for a long time. I was pretty much exclusive to Pusa Studio, and that's where a bulk of my subs came from.
I think that's where a lot of mine came from at one point, but I
Hmm.
also got a lot off of the Canadian Drone Hub, and that's a
Yeah,
different
I
story. But
same here. Yeah.
but I just I at least I'm staying consistent. I'm not gaining 50 and losing 30.
Right.
I gain a few, I lose a few, but I'm staying at a level. That means I'm hitting the audience I'm supposed to be hitting for me,
Right.
because when I started the Grumpy Vlogger, I had no idea that I'd even hit 50, you know, and here I am at 729, I think,
Yeah.
yesterday, and okay, I can live with that. Uh,
Mhm. No,
but
just keep
my
plugging
problem
away.
is I I like to take a break from going to I just can't go to everybody's channel. And
Yeah.
a lot of times, I miss your channel on Saturday nights because I'm usually, as it was yesterday, I was doing stuff,
Yeah.
and uh, but yeah, and so I miss Mitch's on Thursday nights because a lot of times I just I watch Ken Heron, but there's times where it's like I have to get up and go do something for Judy or whatever, and
Right.
that's the other thing. I can't just
Yeah,
and,
that's true. Mhm.
so I put as much into this as I can, and the rest of it, it's like, okay, I can deal with this. So, but anyways,
Yep. All right, so we've done just a little over an hour, and I want to thank everybody for coming to the show. We got people from Europe and Australia that came to the show, and so let's build this up, and you might learn something that you won't learn from the mainstream media. We give you a different perspective on conservative views, and you could kind of filter out all the BS that you hear from the mainstream media. So,
yeah, we try to keep the facts pretty straight,
yeah. Hmm.
but don't forget, if there's nobody you like running for president, you can always write my name in because I am running for president in 2020.
Hmm. All right. Well, thanks everybody for coming in. I'm glad you guys enjoyed the show. We'll see you next week, and God bless everybody. Take care.